Yes, this is Josh from the band Larkins, and you are listening to ICRT.
ICRT.
The latest single that you dropped is Are We Having Any Fun Yet? And of course, this one, like we just talked about, you must have been playing it for a couple of years by now, right?
I guess it's about a year old. I mean,
Oh,
as soon as we wrote the first verse and chorus, I was like, let's play it live.
yeah.
So the version you hear on the live album is kind of a stripped down version. It's not fully like laid out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, as soon as we wrote that, I kind of felt like it was something special and it was important, and yeah, it sounded like a new era for us, which I think is good.
Do you remember what that day was like when you first wrote that first verse for Are We Having Any Fun Yet?
I was in London, and I'd been invited to come down to the studio to do a session with a guy called Dan Nigro, who I'd never met. He'd never met me, and we sat in this room, and I'd never really written with someone else before. And he was like, "How was your morning, man?" And I was like, "It's weird. It was raining in London. I got the Underground from Euston, and when I got on the Underground, this couple opposite me were just arguing at each other, and as the Underground like tram pulled away from Euston Station, there was just like this huge screeching noise, like the rails were screeching really loud, and they were just forced to sit there in silence and wait for this sound to stop. And I remember just saying to him, like, yeah, she just had to wait for the sound of the train to stop. And we were like, oh, there's the first line of the song. And it was just really easy then to write about characters. And as I was walking around London, the rich parts, the poor parts, like you just start to write and start to like let it go crazy. Like the person in that house might be rich, but they might not be happy. That guy there is working 2 jobs and working his ass off, you know? It just felt like a really nice thing to write about. And I think when you hear like, "Oh, we're having any fun yet?" People are like, "Yes, this is a bop, this is great." But it means more to people than that. It means it's a question. It's the point of perspective. Does that make sense?
So is there a sense of sarcasm in it as well? Because that's kind of how I read the lyrics.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, slightly ironic, I guess. It's like, are we actually having any fun here? And I feel like when you ask that on stage, it's the only point where I can totally go yes. Especially when you sing it live. That's the only point where everyone looks around and goes, yes, this is it. This is what we want. This is what life should be a bit more like. And that's a sense of community, and that's really nice.
And in the music video, there is a sense of a dangerous excitement in it as well. A guy gets hit. Well, you get hit by a car, and then you kind of walk it off. And along the way, there are people yelling at you, but you kind of just brush them aside. Did you have any say in the visuals? And if so, what is it trying to say in relation to the lyrics itself?
The idea a lot like came from, I remember writing down my ideas for the video of like it being in the evening, that I wanted it to be walking through the streets because that's what the song was about.
Yep.
And I wanted it to have these really strong character references. And then Grandma's, the directors, came back to me with this concept, and I was just blown away. I was like, this has to be it. You know, I always feel like I can do the best thing for us visually because I know what I want it to look like. But these guys just came to me with something that was, you just couldn't refuse that. It was too good. It was too perfect. And yeah, man, it was really striking. It was a really long shoot, but we got to shoot it all on film, which was really nice, on 35mm film. It was a beautiful shoot. The characters were amazing. And like you say, the car crash is like, people are like, it's all about that. It's not. The point of the crash was like the start and the end point. That was just like this point at which you go, are we actually having any fun here? It was the question. The car crash was the question. The characters then were just all these different people going through their lives. And I think it's probably one of the most special things we've ever made so far. So I'm really happy with it, man.
That's actually very interesting because the song itself is a very self-reflecting question to you and to everyone around you. And sometimes it takes a traumatic event like a car crash to start you thinking about it, and then how you want to live your life according to that question, in response to that question. Eh?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think it was definitely, at the time, it was the Brexit vote in Britain when we wrote it.
Okay.
And I remember feeling like the atmosphere was really weird in the country.
Yeah.
It was just really strange. And I just remember like feeling really flat about politics and society. And I just remember just being like, are we having any fun here? Is this fun? Is this what life's about? There has to be more to this. So yeah, it was an abundance of those. But I hope that, like, especially my age group and especially like the younger people right now are starting to ask that of themselves.
Yep.
Because I feel like we're at a real turning point in life and in history that the people have started got to ask what's important, you know?
Yeah. Totally agree with you there. And of course, like we said at the beginning of this interview, you, Dom, Henry, and Joe are basically sitting down at home, probably got a lot of ideas to work from. So we look forward to more stuff from you in the near future.
Thank you, man. It's very sweet of you.
One last thing, though. I mean, I'm sure the boys have talked about it, but you guys are from Manchester, or at least near Manchester. I'm sure you listen to Oasis, New Order, Chemical Brothers, Hurts, maybe even now. So what does it feel like? Now that are you following after their footsteps? Are you trying to create something beyond them? What is it like for you guys as the Manchester crew?
I mean, I've always stood by the kind of ideology that like music sounds good wherever it's from. I like music from everywhere as long as it sounds good. But at the same time, we wouldn't be the band we are without Manchester because of the music venues, because of the audiences, because of the people. So those bands were amazing. I mean, Oasis, the Smiths, even the 1975 to an extent, who were from Manchester. Hurts, of course. Hurts were amazing.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess we're just another one to add to that. But at the same time, like I don't want to sound like a Manchester band. I want to sound like the synths of LA, kind of the beats from New York. You kind of want that depth that like a Berlin sound has. So yeah, I don't know. As long as we kind of have that overlay of Manchester, that's cool with me.
Yeah, I got you. I guess because a lot of promo material are basically hailing you guys as the proudest sons of Manchester. But what you're saying is you want to be more than that. You want to be more international. You want to be extracting sounds from all over the world. And hopefully you'll get to a lot of chance to grow around the world as well once this whole COVID-19 thing blows over. We enjoy your music.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us, Josh.
Appreciate it, brother. Thanks so much.